Welcome to CARE Conversations with Clarity Financial Solutions, where through education, we move you from confusion to clarity on topics touching retirement. Join us as we learn and grow from others' experience on entering to this next phase of life with peace of mind and conviction that you have a team to help you, educate you, and let you know your unique retirement is upon you. So it's time to take a deep inhale, a slow exhale, and walk into this next phase of life, confident and with clarity. Welcome to CARE Conversations with Clarity. This is season 2, and in this season we are talking to people like the two of you, the Adams family, about retirement and kind of what their thoughts were, feelings, how we originally met. And then we're just going to move through the conversation. So this is Valerie and Phil Adams, and I met them several years ago. It was someone mentioned to call me. I think one of your friends, the Schweitzes, said, you should call him. So you did. And what did you expect?
Well, let me back up and say, they gave me your name. Yeah. And I just kind of put it aside because we already had somebody that we were meeting with, a financial advisor. And so I just kind of filed it. And then, but my experience with that financial advisor was so awkward and unfruitful. So he would meet with me once a year and talked over my head. So I really didn't completely understand things he was saying. He didn't do a lot of investigating. I mean, he gave me, survey type things to fill out, which I don't like to do, things like that.
Gave you homework.
So I didn't do that. And so we really didn't have a whole lot of, information to get to go from in our meetings. So the meetings were really almost pointless, but I went every year. And then it came to the point where he was switching jobs and he had to reach out to all his clients and say, I'm moving to this position. You need to sign this indicating that you'll come with me to this new location. And I thought, no, not going to do that. I'm going to take the opportunity to look at somebody else. And so I remembered that I had that thing with your name on it. So I thought, well, this is a good opportunity, at least try someone else out. Yeah. So that's how it started, and unbelievable. Well, the difference.
So I come to your house for dinner. Y'all invited me to dinner. I never have met you.
She didn't eat with us.
I didn't eat. Well, I was talking.
No, you had the
braces. And you were dealing with dental issues too. Yes. Well, I remember just kind of falling in love with you as a couple. And I recall sitting there and you were working what was your last role? You were a teacher for a long time.
I was an academic advisor.
Okay. And you did that for how many
8 years?
8 years. And before that?
I taught, then I had a 3-year stint as a artist, and then I was a academic advisor.
Okay. And you were doing what?
I was cleaning houses at the time I met you.
Yeah. And so y'all were thinking about retiring, ready to retire. But what were your feelings? Were you nervous? Were you like, oh my gosh, how do we do this? Or were you just ready?
Well, my thought was, I am a careful spender. And so I thought, but even though I am a careful spender, it's because I grew up without a lot. And we haven't had a lot as a married couple. God always provided more than we needed, but from a worldly standpoint, I guess you'd say. So anyway, I was just afraid of not having enough money to continue paying we have our house and cars paid off, but we don't, we have property taxes and just normal.
You want to go see
life.
Children who live kind of all over.
Exactly. So just all those things, I was concerned, am I going to still be able to do that?
So when he would bring up retiring, what would you say?
Her biggest fear about my retiring was insurance.
Health insurance specifically.
Right. Yes. Because I was thinking, I know what some of my friends' parents had to spend to be in an assisted living or farther on than that, and just the astronomical cost of that. And so we've been in good health, thank God, but you never know when something's going to happen. So I thought, we don't have enough money to be putting one of us in one of those places. So.
Well, it is kind of frightening, especially when you don't know. You've heard something, you don't really understand maybe the price tag, but what was it for? Does that apply to me? Will it apply to me? And there's certain things we can't control, right? But you're both healthy. You both take care of yourselves. And those are things that we can control. And y'all been married for how many years?
42?
42 this year.
42 years. And how many children?
3.
3 grandkids?
9.
9. And that is your love, right? Like you love to see. I remember you saying you're a giver. You want to give to them. And I remember you expressing that at the table that night is I want to be able to still give, and he's a giver too, I think, but you remind me more.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. So when we started talking about accounts and things, I was just collecting information. I remember how y'all have just lived below your income for so long, but you really had not even calculated how much you have spent.
Right.
Because you said the amount and I repeated it several times, like, what? This is all you spent. So we've got a couple that make a decent living and don't spend even close to that. But then we collected all the little accounts and then we got back together, right? And we did, a true retirement income plan. And your faces were hysterical because you were like leaning in, going like, wait a minute, that's more than we're going to make when I'm working. Yeah. How? And we reviewed it, but I felt like you understood it. You knew that I wasn't pulling pie. It was I broke it down to you.
Yes. You didn't talk way up here and expect us to know everything. You answered questions, you explained things.
He showed all the numbers on the computer, turned it toward us so we could see all the.
And then just walking us through, the process before you even came back with the numbers, you were, kind of walking us through what you were planning to do. So even that first meeting gave me a lot of peace of mind. Like she knows what she's doing and you're already encouraging before we even saw the package that you came back with.
Well, and I think ultimately what you're describing is a very typical response, and also not necessarily fear, but just disconcerting, right? You don't retire every day. You retire once. And so you go from having an employer insurance and, you don't have to research it. You just take the card and give one to your spouse. And that's your insurance. And now you walk into retirement and you've got to understand Medicare and what it is and what it's not and why do this and I want skis or whatever passes. You got a lot of little special things you can get with Advantage plans we've talked about. But it's confusing and a lot of people have different opinions. And so you have to be able to kind of sift out what's important to me. And so now we have to know Medicare and hopefully work with someone that you can ask questions to and will explain it. And then you go from just getting this check deposited in your bank account, just like clockwork, to now I've got to decide which accounts to draw from. Do I start Social Security? Do I not start Social Security? When you're a husband and wife, understanding really how to maximize that's important. And then you have this part-time job that you love, and that you get to do. And that was also going to be providing some income, but eventually you're going to have to start drawing off those retirement accounts, right? And just the process to get your retirement accounts rolled out of your employer plan was an act of Congress. Right. Some people probably would have just given up. It was like, well, we got to get the code. Oh no, we got to get something in the mail. All of that. It was.
So surprised you remember all that.
Oh, I'd say because it's frustrating because it's not their money, but they're keeping it. So getting everything into a plan and then showing people through time, how is this going to impact them taxation wise? How is this going to what is the net income to them? So you can do all these things that you want to do. Go to Italy, go skiing, go see your kids. Well, I should say grandkids. Kids are good too, but you're probably more the grandkids these days. And your home is paid for, and I love getting to do what I do because I literally from one side of the table get to see people's shoulders just go.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened
to us.
And just the relief that she experienced knowing, okay, this isn't as bad as she envisioned.
It's wonderful. Yeah. And you're still doing a little bit of work, right? Right. But not as much. And then you're getting to do hobbies that you enjoy. Acting. Are you doing an act? Yeah. And you're doing your art. You're
not much, but a little bit.
And then, you're fluent in German. So you just start spreading math around.
But for the audience, the fact that you were the full package, like it wasn't just the financial side of things. That's a major component with retirement. But the fact that you know so much about the whole healthcare system and Medicare, I mean, that right there was like, how in the world did we land on that? Because the other guy, he wouldn't have touched that aspect.
Yeah.
That's not his expertise. And so, and the day I met you, you guys came to our house, I met with that other guy, and then I had that commitment to him for 2 years, but now everything's.
And that's okay. I still answer questions and stuff.
You did.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's now nice. It's all.
Yeah, wonderful.
Right.
So I tell people when they, like first meetings, like there's a huge difference between the accumulation side of things when you're saving money and then when you're entering into NRN retirement, because anything that touches retirement, it all affects each other. Like how much money you make, your taxes in 2025 are going to determine your Medicare premiums in 2027. Well, no one knows that. Well, good thing I do. Yeah. So I'm always watching distributions and making sure that you're not going to get an increase in Medicare premiums. $1 can knock you over the edge. So let's just say $1. Now you're paying $250 more a month per person.
Really?
Per month.
Oh, nice.
We didn't have to worry about that because of the way the plan works. But there are lots of people that do fall into that's called an IRMA cliff tax, income adjustment. But how do you, in my opinion, how do I give someone good advice, financial advice, without knowing the things that impact that, and vice versa?
Yeah.
Like, how do I? So, we don't, and it's a very tiny commission for Medicare sales, but that's not why we do it. We do it to bring people, once again, peace of mind, and also we understand how to contain their healthcare costs. Because, like you said, you're concerned. Well, if I know exactly how much we're going to be spending on healthcare until, like you said, something may happen. And we could look at long-term care because there's enough margin there, to do something, but how you have to be able to do that so people can then spend their retirement funds on retirement and not on healthcare. So yes, I get a lot of people that'll say, well, my guy said, I'm going to be okay. Well, what does that mean? You're going to be okay. Okay. Given what variables? And there's no answer. They haven't had any kind of conversation. It's just they're looking at a rate of return and that's it. Instead of all these other pieces that do impact one another. Well, y'all have definitely been fun to work with because we do have a lot of fun when we meet. There's a lot of laughter.
Yep.
We don't talk about standard deviation or beta or Sharpe ratios or anything like that. I mean, we could.
We could. You could.
We could. But the goal is for people to go to work, do what they've been told to do, save money, and then enter into this with peace. That's my goal, is life after work, not retirement is what I call it, because that's what it should be. It should be one of the best parts of your life. And I'm just really thankful that the Schweitz gave you my name, even though you filed it.
He did too, though. He filed your name.
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years from the time that I met him to the time that we did business together. Yeah. That was a funny story. He was turning 65 and he was trying to decide if he wanted to go on Medicare or not. And Beth was still working. So that's how that went. And then they called me back 3 years later to come because he had changed because she wanted to retire. And so they wanted to move him to Medicare again. We're having the same conversation. And they had all their financial stuff out on the table when I got there. They're like, well, we researched you and we know you do this other stuff too. So just in case you want to take a look at it, it was wow. Weirdest, like relationship, courting, I guess. Yeah. And we had a great appointment the first time. They were going to get right back with me 3 years later. Wow. But that's the cool thing. I think, when you're given a name, there's a reason. Sometimes it's just you never know what's behind that, but I'm a believer in.
And like I said, we have given your name to a bunch of people and they haven't all reached out to you, but they all are very interested.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I just had a girl at our church ask me 2 weeks ago or so, can you please give me the name of your financial advisor? Dan, I'm just trying to get my husband to go talk to her with me. Mm-hmm. He's out of town a lot. So she has to schedule around that. She said, I don't know where I put that information. So I sent it to her that day.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. I think, but that's normal. I talk to people who have put off retiring for years because it's too much. Mm-hmm. It's like paralyzing to them. Mm-hmm. One of my most recent people that I retired, I love to retire people. He's 67 years old. His wife was just getting ready to turn 65. He was wanting to retire at 65, day one of 65th birthday. And he just couldn't, he said, I just couldn't read everything. I'm like, you're going to become an expert in retirement before you retire? I mean, as a professional financial advisor, I read every day and I will never know everything. But I think some people think they have to, and it's true because you do need to know who to believe. You do need to have a somewhat of kind of a knowledge of what my expenses are and what my income is, but also, what are my fears? What are my goals? What are my objectives? And most people spend more time planning their vacations than they do their retirement because it's more fun. It's more fun. It absolutely is more fun. Sometimes fights or disagreements can occur because a lot of people, especially in spousal units, one person may want to volunteer to full on never do anything again. One person may want to be go. So you really have to communicate and talk through. But the math part is pretty easy for me. Mm. Like that's what I love to do. But it's always different based on clients' goals and objectives, expenses, and income.
How many people that you deal with? I mean, like they leave work and they're done. Like they don't do anything else.
Very few.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
Most of us aren't ready to just be at home.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people, even though they may think that they're not doing anything because they're not getting up and logging into the computer every day like they're used to, they're volunteering, they're going to the grocery store with their spouse and driving them crazy. One of them, I had to be a marriage counselor recently because, a gentleman retired and he started going to the grocery store with his wife. And he was telling her what she needed to buy because what things cost per ounce. Oh.
She probably never cared.
She was like, you need a hobby. Yes. We got to get him a hobby, Amanda. Can you hire him here? He really likes to add things. He went from being so busy, always doing projects and stuff like that to, all right, what are we doing today? Okay. We're going to be per ounce counting. I mean, Lord, the things that is very different for every couple. Some couples, like one will start traveling and the other one stays home. I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff, but I think it's good to know that you have some margin. You have the ability to give, you have the ability to do what you want to do. And it's not always that way. There are some people who haven't saved as much as you have and they spend more. That's harder. It's harder to do in the math world.
Right.
But those kind of conversations are important. And what you were saying, people that you give name to and they don't come or they don't call, I think that's a normal, you're just avoiding that. You'll just, what if I find out something else?
It's like, do I really want to know where we stand. Cause I think that was one of my fears. Like with the other guy, I never really knew cause he didn't dig. Mm-hmm. And then when you started digging, I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to like what she finds out. I mean, we knew some stuff, but just seeing like the whole annuity thing, that was just like a huge eye opener. And
paychecks to playchecks, we call it.
But
Because it really is, it's replacing, it's just a guaranteed stream of income when you decide to turn it on, and it's never going to stop, even if that asset runs out to zero, that particular type. And that there have been studies.
it's magic.
Well, the insurance company wins. They're investing your money too, or they're doing option buying to be specific, but you both win, right? Because you have peace of mind and they are making money as well. It's interesting. So a lot of people, annuities can have a bad rap because they are not explained properly, or advisors put too much of a client's money in annuities and then they don't have any liquid money left, like to go travel and do. So it's really important to understand, okay, an annuity is just a vehicle. It's one tool in the toolbox, right? So I knew from the moment I met you, or you seek peace, like you want peace and you want, to feel confident. And that's just a really easy way to do it. Because if the market's up or the market's down, irrelevant, right? It's just going to come to you the same exact. Now, if all of your money was left in the market where it was, and the market was down, and you started to draw off that money, if we had a negative market in the beginning of your retirement, it would dramatically change the amount of money you have. It's called sequence of return risk. And you can have the same rate of return as someone else. So let's just say 6% over 20 years and run out of money in 10. If you have negatives first, as opposed to positives first. So we just take that off the table for clients, especially when they are used to X amount of income, because your lifestyle you should not be concerned about what the market's doing to live your life, in my opinion. But I just really appreciate you both, and have loved getting to know you and just your hearts, but also continuing to walk this kind of path. I always feel like a retirement tour guide. I tell people, put my hat like, let's go. But I do, because you kind of have to navigate the what ifs, and then I have been down the road before, not my own personal retirement, one day maybe, but I love to encourage people to walk into the next phase, confident.
Yeah. When your story is also very compelling. Like when we met you the first time and you told us how you got into this, that was like, that was huge.
Normal.
I don't know about normal, but it sure is. It was a great reason to move into this field. And then because that shows, both sides, the health side of things and then the financial side. So.
Well, what he's alluding to out there is, I used to work in home health and hospice. And so I would see families just fall apart because of lack of knowledge of what Medicare covered, what it didn't. They would be going through assets so quickly because they just hadn't prepared or planned. And I'm a prevention girl by nature. Like, I feel like if you know better, you do better. So I was just like, I have to get this message out. Why is this happening over and over and over and over to these families? And I would see a couple that had a really good plan. And I was like, this needs to be like talked about.
Yeah.
And so it is hard because a lot of people don't like insurance, just insurance in general, but you have to plan, right? If I can transfer risk from my own portfolio to an insurance company, whether it's for Medicare supplements, whether it's for life insurance for legacy, or whether it's long-term care or annuities, then I'm preventing something from happening to me. Now, the opportunity cost is, the money that I give to an insurance company may grow much more if it stays in the market. But the key word there is may. So I am a firm believer in as little as we can control in our life, the things that we can or have a good chance of having some guarantees. I'm all for any of those that we can do. Most of my clients, they are not looking for 30% returns, cryptocurrency. That's just not who they are. They are salt of the earth, worked hard, and just want to be okay. And they want to leave a legacy. Which I think kind of was the two of you.
That was a huge shift for you, wasn't it? I mean, moving from the hospice and
huge shift. What I found is the people, when I was just doing education, as still in development with the healthcare company, I wasn't getting to the people soon enough. Like the ship had already sailed. They were already in some type of crisis that I was trying to unravel. So for me, that's how I landed on Medicare, because I figure if I could at least get to people under 65, I can tell people how to prepare at least a little bit. And you have to make a decision at 65. It's kind of like the driver's, automotive insurance of health. You have to get on Medicare. Yeah. It's not an option. So anyway, that's kind of, and it was divine intervention, I believe. I really do, because I prayed a lot about how to use the gifts I've been given to help people understand this. And it was, like I said, it was not a straight line. It was very curvy, but getting here. And that's why I named the company Clarity, because I want to bring I want people to understand and be curious and not just let stuff happen to them, because that's when we get surprises.
Oh, I love the slogan I heard at the beginning, going from confusion to clarity. I wasn't sure why it was named Clarity, but that's perfect.
Yes.
But two things I would say is I am the kind of person who, if I'm dealing with someone like you, I don't ask questions unless I really feel like I connect with that person. And so I just feel like I could talk to you anytime, ask you any question. You wouldn't look down on me. You would be right there. Oh, yes, I can. If I don't know it right now, I can find that out for you. So that's one thing that's been a real plus for me. And the other thing is just, as we've talked about it, and we've told you too, is that if he precedes me in death, I know that you know our whole financial picture. I can come to you and you can tell me what I need to do from that point on. And that is just such a relief to both of us. I mean, because a lot of women, some of my friends we've even talked about recently, are relying on our husbands to understand all this stuff, because I don't understand everything he does about all the numbers. But to know that if he's not in the picture, I have someone who does, who can help me know where do I go from here.
That's right.
There again, the previous financial guy I was meeting with, I would have said, don't go to him. He's not going to help you. You can't relate to him. So, I can't emphasize that enough. What a huge relief that is for.
Yeah. Well, I think to your point, you don't ask questions until you feel safe.
Right.
Right. That's so common. And it sometimes you generally the wife, it's 5th meeting, 6th meeting, 7th meeting. And finally they're coming to the table. They've taken notes and they're asking me questions and we're talking through, because it's like another language.
Yeah, but you were born for this. You really were. I mean, the minute we met you and you came to our house, it was like, this is what every financial advisor needs to be like, because the barriers just fall.
Yeah.
And I mean, you felt like a friend from day one, and it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to answer your questions. It wasn't hard to, it was just, that's exactly what you are, where you need to be.
I just couldn't believe how much you knew all these different.
Well, that's one of you kept saying, you know that too.
It's just an issue. Wow, I can trust her because she knows so much about every little area that other people but know. The financial advisor.
Yeah, because I specialize. If you think about it, I am a specialist in distribution, retirement plan, like retirement. I let other people do accumulation, pick stocks, that's never what I want to do. My goal and role is making sure that your goals and objectives are met through education and knowledge, and then vehicles, tools, investments. And then we work together with portfolio managers to get it done. I think if everyone stays in their lane, we all have a better traffic experience.
But I mean, the people we've told about you, they're all, you know, they all just sort of listen with half an ear and they're like, okay, sounds good for you. But I mean, we just keep going on and we just like, we can't say enough good about her. And then as soon as they start showing a little bit of interest, we say, please go talk to her. And I know we've had at least 2 people reluctant to do this because, well, how much does this cost? Like, I remember asking you, it's like, what, can we write you a check and what's that going to cost? And when we tell people, it's not, she doesn't charge you. It's like, I'm surprised they haven't beaten Dora down because it's like, what?
Well,
all of this?
Yeah. So the way that sounds, though, it almost sounds too good to be true. People don't understand. So the fiduciary model, which is as a fiduciary, Series 65 licensed planner, I make money.
I know you do. He's killing.
2 different ways. 2 different ways. The first way is assets under management, right? So anything in the market, it's an advisory fee. Very clear right there in your statement. But you're going to pay a fee anyway. Right. So you might as well get a service too. It's kind of my thought. Then on insurance products, the insurance company pays me a commission. So I don't charge for the plan because if I'm executing the plan and I'm getting paid for it, why would I? Some people do. Some people do charge a hefty planning fee. I just never have and never felt the need to. And it does, once again, like you were saying, the barrier of entry is lower because people are not, but then people sometimes are like, yeah, right. I'm not going to pay her anything. I mean, it's like they're waiting for the hook. Like, you cannot leave my office until you must bleed. You can't pay till you must bleed. No, it's really not that. But, well, thank you both for your kind words, but also just for trusting me and the team for helping you, just helping you navigate it. And yes, please always ask questions because it is a new language. It can be confusing, but you're right. We will always answer questions and get them to you if we don't know them. But that's all I have to say about that.
Awesome.
Easy. See? Was that part? All right. We will see you next time on Care Conversations with Clarity.
Our Clarity Financial Solutions family, where through education and others' experience, we empower you to make retirement choices with confidence. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or head on over to our website and sign up for our newsletter. If you'd like to further engage with us, please don't hesitate. Just reach out, 864-987-8729. See you next time on Care Conversations with Clarity.